Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphaneum. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Big weekend coming up, big holiday coming up for many people. You'll get to spend some time with your family members and loved ones. Make sure, show them some love. Show them some love, and hopefully you'll show some love in return. Enjoy these times, make them count. All right, let's jump into the first article here. It's from thecryptobasic.com, and it's titled, Crypto Law Founder, Attorney John Deaton explains why Uphold didn't suspend XRP trading in the US. And it says, Crypto Law Founder Attorney John Deaton made new comments about the decision by crypto exchange Uphold to not suspend XRP trading, despite the SEC alleging that the coin is a security. In a tweet today, Attorney Deaton asserted that Uphold not suspending XRP trading after, quote, conflicted and compromised, unquote, SEC officials will go down as one of the best decisions in crypto history. I definitely agree with that. And just it can be perceived as loyalty. Obviously, I think is a good business move as well. But in all possible ways, I think this is going to be very good once everything clears up for XRP. This will be very beneficial for Uphold. It says, quote, Uphold deciding to not suspend the trading of XRP simply because a lawsuit was filed by compromised, conflicted regulators whose motives were questioned by one of the most esteemed SEC regulators of all time, Grunfest, will go down as one of the best decisions in crypto history, unquote, said Deaton. The pro-XRP lawyer made this known while reacting to reports that the US-based crypto exchange launched its institutional business and trading platform. Dr. Martin Heisbach, Uphold's head of research, revealed the development. And this is what the tweet said. They had a little tweet here. It says, the biggest supporter and only active U.S. choice for XRP fans at Uphold Inc., launching institutional business and trading platform just as the situation gets resolved. Very nice. There's so many big things happening. There's a lot of reasons to be very excited about the future of crypto. We had a couple of experts in some article the other day confirming, not really confirming, but corroborating what I've been saying, that we're still in the nascent stages. We're still in the beginning. The future, as of now, is very bright. As a matter of fact, I think it was a Ripple article that said that they polled some institutions, and those institutions agreed that they were not only excited, but that crypto was still in its infancy. Something of that nature. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Let's read this a little tidbit here. It says, Uphold didn't suspend XRP trading despite SEC lawsuit. Recall that US-based centralized crypto exchanges, including Coinbase and Kraken, delisted XRP shortly after the SEC charged Ripple and two of its execs with offering unregistered securities. Interestingly, Uphold did not follow the path of the other top exchanges as it continues to list XRP to date. In April, Uphold reminded XRP community members that it never delisted XRP or disabled their services for the crypto asset, despite the SEC's claim that the coin is a security. It says, reacting to the announcement, Deaton commended Uphold for making a, quote, very smart business decision. Once again, I completely agree with that. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. So this article here comes by way of coinedition.com, and it's titled, Whales bullish on XRP as they accumulate millions of tokens. This is nothing new. We know why they're doing it. We know we're very close, I believe, to the end of this case. We're getting a lot of predictions about July, but you know, who knows? It's in the judge's hands, but everyone is preparing as much as they can. Some people feel they have enough XRP already. Some people don't. You know, people take the generational wealth and the idea of being the new 1% very, very seriously. You know, another thing, like I said in the past, a lot of people, they don't listen. Being a millionaire is not what it's cut out to be anymore. So now people want to be billionaires, right? And I'm quite sure you have some billionaires that want to be trillionaires, right? Everyone's looking to move up a level. So when it comes to XRP in particular, people are going to pile up as much XRP as they possibly can. And that's what we've been seeing for quite some time. But let's read this a little bit here. It says, a well-known crypto analyst, Ali, shared a post on Twitter yesterday to highlight that whales have been accumulating XRP. In the post, the analyst noted that this could indicate that whales are very bullish on the remittance token. The analysts refer to some data collected by the market intelligence firm Sentiment in his post and pointed out that whales have purchased more than 52 million XRP over the past 3 weeks alone. The collective worth of the purchased XRP was estimated to be $22.9 million. I don't blame them at all. I mean, it seems like, this case is coming to a close very soon and that price could explode. Who knows? Just my humble opinion. All right. Just my humble opinion. I'm not trying to convince you of anything at all. You do what you believe is best for you. I just personally believe that that price is going to explode disgustingly. And, people have held for quite some time. Obviously, a lot of people have left. They're gone. All right. A lot of good people as well. They couldn't stay. Maybe that capital that they were playing with was something that their life they definitely needed for a living. Some others just, didn't want to wait anymore. They don't believe in the project. So there is a ton of people, good people that are now gone. They no longer hold any XRP whatsoever. And so the ones that are left, in my humble opinion, and I think we're going to see this more and more, the ones that are left standing, they are individuals who believe in the use case. They believe that XRP can dominate. They've seen all the evidence and they have a vision of where it's going. So we're the last ones left. We're down to the survivors. That's it. I don't know how else to put that, but I think you get what I'm saying here. Let's read this a little bit. It says, at press time, XRP was one of the many cryptocurrencies trading in the green for the day. Data from CoinMarketCap showed that the altcoin was worth about 47 cents after a 2.5% price increase over the past day. And actually, you can see a correlation. The DXY was down just a little bit, but as the DXY came down, other things went back up. I think some commodities went up. So XRP get a little bit, a couple other cryptocurrencies, a couple other utility coins we saw go up just a little bit. It says, as a result, the crypto was trading much closer to its daily high of 47 cents than its 24-hour low of 46 cents. The increase in XRP's price was able to flip its weekly performance back into green, taking the total weekly gain to 1.65%. Now, remember what I was saying before. There's going to be a lot of people playing with T-bills. So a lot of liquidity is going to leave certain riskier assets. This is how people are going to do. They're going to pull a little bit of liquidity out of certain riskier assets. They're going to go over to low risk, high yield assets, like T-bills and such, and they're going to try to make some capital. This is a money-making game. So you're going to see this back and forth flow, depending on what's going on with the debt ceiling, depending on what's going on with rate hikes. So it's just something I keep in mind when I'm watching the charts and I'm watching everything go green, red, green, red. Then you watch the strength of the dollar, same thing. That goes right hand in hand with everything, of course, obviously. But a lot of people don't have the DXY on their trading view or their charts. But it's something that's good to keep there. You'll see a lot of correlations there with certain movements and certain things that are going on. All right, as money moves back and forth, it'll bring a greater understanding of why that's happening. If you don't stay just up on the catalyst, you're not reading the news all the time. So now let's go to another article here. This article is on U.Today and it's titled Ripple CTO David Schwartz on AI. All right, let's see what Mr. Schwartz is saying here. So David Schwartz is a renowned AI skeptic. He frequently shares reminders about the potential dangers of using AI-powered instruments in their modern designs. Now he commented on the practice of using AI for working with court documents. Listen, yeah, I feel the same way as David Schwartz. I think that AI should have a limited amount of uses. I think that this is going to be very detrimental to the way that people behave and the way that they are able to live, move about. I mean, in every possible way. And just the dependence of humanity. Humanity has a tendency to become too dependent on things. And it robs them of really a lot of the basics of what makes a person human, right? Well, let's read this little tidbit here. It says AI-powered chatbot ChatGPT and similar large language models behind generative AI programs provide answers that are not true, but definitely look like they are. As such, they should not be used for finding true answers to, quote, serious questions. Let's scroll down here. It says, this statement was made by Schwartz as a comment on an analysis by a prominent lawyer, Steve Vladeck, Charles Allen Wright Chair in the federal courts at the University of Texas School of Law, Vladeck shared examples of forged court case documents generated by ChatGPT. Wow. The lawyer recommended never using ChatGPT or similar instruments for legal research. Also, he asked not to try educate LLMs with fake court documents. Schwartz is most concerned about the dangerous similarities between AI-generated fake documents and real ones. Well, I'll tell you what, AI is faking a lot of things that are is a very, very dangerous time. I'll just leave it at that. It says even a skilled researcher can fail to identify which one is true. It says ChatGPT's job is to give you output that looks as much like the output that kind of question typically gets as possible. Whether it's actually true in the sense of corresponding with actual things in the real world is simply not a consideration. As covered by U.Today, previously, Schwartz started raising concerns about the possible dangers of AI during the first phase of ChatGPT hype. Listen, and I know that there's this idea that the military they're always doing things ahead of everyone else, and that may be true. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, people just inherently believe that the military has been dealing with advanced artificial intelligence for quite some time, and that may be true. But I'll say this, whether they're dealing with it today or they dealt with it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, military applications for artificial intelligence are the greatest threat, I believe, to humanity. Without going too deep into it, I think right now is a very, very dangerous time. When you're looking at, just my humble opinion, I'm just saying people should stay cautious. I'm not saying live in fear or anything like that whatsoever, but I like to be prepared. Simple as that. But I think that the combination of artificial intelligence and quantum computing rising at the same time, and there's a lot of other artificial intelligence programs other than ChatGPT that are quite astounding. All right. Some of them people have been asking to do some very, very wild things. So this is something I keep my eye on, which is interesting that David Schwartz has this particular perspective, because then I believe that, well, we'll see if this actually affects how Ripple and anyone building on XRPL utilizes artificial intelligence going forward into the future, and what sort of control mechanisms, if they choose to go further with it, because they have machine learning already on the XRPL, I believe. But if they choose to go further with it, what type of mechanisms will they be putting into place to limit the capabilities of the artificial intelligence that they're using? So, we'll keep an eye on that and we'll see how it goes. So now let's move on here to a little bit of Stellar related news. So now this is something that I missed. This came out April the 20th, 2023. But even if we don't get it when it first releases or drops, it's still good information to have, because we need all the information that we can get to put together the puzzle pieces and have a more clear vision of what could be going on in the future. As something like XLM, XRP, Algorand, obviously, these are long-term holds, long-term plays, where we need to know the catalysts that are coming in the future to know how successful, deployment on these chains can be, and thus the price potentiality of the native tokens can be. So this article is titled Flutterwave and SHIP. Remember, Flutterwave is utilizing Stellar. Flutterwave and SHIP partner to solve over 40,000 African merchants logistic challenge. This is huge, right? We'll see how it goes, but the idea of this, the fact that they've moved forward, we've got a lot of forward momentum right now on Stellar. Things are going really, really good. It says, the integration will provide SMEs and online shoppers with a smooth transaction checkout and also enable merchants to successfully ship internationally. It says Flutterwave, Africa's leading payments technology company. Let me insert there that it's operating on Stellar or hand in hand with Stellar. It says today announces partnership with SHIP, Nigeria's leading courier service. The collaboration aims to improve deliveries for Flutterwave Store, SMEs and large-scale merchants across the African continent. Let's scroll down here, read a little bit more. With over 40,000 small business entrepreneurs using the Flutterwave store, the partnership with SHIP will provide a seamless end-to-end e-commerce experience whereby Flutterwave merchants will be able to select from a range of over 80 domestic and international couriers, including the likes of DHL, FedEx, UPS, Flow Cargo, Shippo, and Flow Express for the transportation of goods, resulting in cheaper delivery rates. Of course, everything that's built on these bank coins is going to be much cheaper. So the integration will provide SMEs and online shoppers with a smooth transaction checkout and also enable merchants to successfully ship internationally. They will no longer be restricted by the headaches that occur with cross-border logistical services, as the options for international shipping will be handled exclusively by Ship and their international couriers. Consequently, the empowerment this logistics integration will bring to SME owners and online shoppers will be endless. By providing a one-stop shop e-commerce solution, the Ship integration to Flutterwave Store will provide SME owners within Nigeria the control to organize and track delivery couriers directly from their Flutterwave dashboard, all without the hassles they were faced with before. So this is a statement coming from Flutterwave's head of product marketing, which commented, quote, "We are delighted to be partnering with Ship as we share the same goal to make the ecosystem of commerce simpler and more empowering for SMEs and large-scale merchants in Africa." So more domination in Africa by a company that is building on Stellar, which is very, very good. We continue to cover the globe, making good progress, bringing in more businesses. The expansion is ongoing. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of effort to look into all of these different partnerships. There's so many companies building on Stellar. So, all right. So now let's move on to another article here, and we're going to close out with this one. All right. This article is from dailyhodl.com and it's titled, "U.S. dollar dumping has started in both words and actions as BRICS nations join forces," says Russia's top diplomat. It begins here, it says, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says de-dollarization is already underway. Due to the U.S. government's rhetoric and policies, Lavrov says countries within the BRICS alliance, or the economic coalition of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are actively plotting a path forward without the U.S. dollar. Says Lavrov, a Russian official since before the collapse of the Soviet Union, says that next BRICS gathering in August. So now we have a date to look forward to. We'll get a little bit more information out of this. Says we'll focus on how the alliance's new development bank can defend itself from potential U.S. hostility. Look how they're phrasing that, putting it together. And this is how they're selling it to a lot of countries, which doesn't take a lot of selling. Because a lot of countries are ready to be from underneath the thumb of the United States. That's how they feel. It says, quote, "De-dollarization has begun, both in practice and in conceptual speeches. Within BRICS, Brazil suggested that the upcoming summit in August should give careful consideration to the tasks of protecting financial transactions within this assembly, of protecting the new development bank from abuse of the dollar's persistent role. And we are putting forward many other initiatives concerning this issue." What's going to be interesting over time is to see the effects that this is going to have on Europe. All right. As we've already had some top officials in Europe saying that they should lessen their dependence on the dollar or something of that nature. I'm paraphrasing, but you can look all of this up. A quick Google search is going to pull these things up. OK. It says Lavrov says Russia is adjusting to a campaign from the Western world that's focused on cutting them off from the global financial system. According to the foreign minister, the U.S. has purposely sown instability in other countries. OK, so we know how they feel on that. Once again, our interest here is just keeping an eye on this to see what effects it's going to have on the value of the dollar, if any. If it does have an effect on the value of the dollar and the value begins to become diminished, we know that we took the my apologies, the appropriate measures to, for protecting our value. Or if some don't believe this is going to do anything, but yet they stay up on the catalyst, if you begin to see the dollar's value begin to be diminished by this activity, then they can take, precautionary measures to protect the value of their capital. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.